Welcome to Conversations and Opinions. And I am Shay.
I'm Karonica.
I'm Carissa.
And I'm Tarvis. Well. Today's subject is about social media. And is it good? Is it bad for marriages? But specifically, if you've been living under a rock, let me go and lift that rock up for you. Because the example we're going to use is Neo and his wife. Back at it for the second time, divorcing. And they're going back and forth on social media. So let me hear your thoughts. Should we talk about our marriages, our relationships on social media? Celebrities, should they lead it behind closed doors? What do you guys think?
Okay, so I'll raise my hand.
Okay,
so for me, I've seen celebrities and regular people talk about you wake up in the middle of the night and somebody's laying out their business on social media. This is how I feel. At the moment that someone's going through stuff, I know sometimes you're not in your clear head about things.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think that once you put your business out, it's no longer your business. It's the world's business. So whatever comments you get or whatever, you got to take those, because now you let that out for people to comment on your life, your situation, your problem. But I think that any situation you're going through, whether it's friendship, marriage, or anything, that should be handled behind closed doors between the person that you have the problem with. Because I can't do anything for your marriage to make it better. I can't do anything for your friendship to make it better. So what makes you think a stranger who don't know you have good intentions for you? You know what I mean? People hating all the time on social media. They just looking for somebody to join their problems. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to be very careful with anything you put on social media. But when you put your business like that, it's no turning back from that. Like, it's nothing that you can do to change the view that people have of you or your husband or your wife, whoever it may be. But no, I think that any situation you go through, any problems you go through, it should be handled behind closed doors, because you are in the forefront of that problem right now. We can't see the end result sometimes. Mm-hmm. So now you just decide, okay, he made this breakthrough, but nobody else is like, oh girl, you're dumb. I mean, perfect example, maybe not a perfect example, but it's an example. Khloe Kardashian and her situation. Like, once everybody knows your situation, nothing you do is going to please anybody. Yeah. Right. They don't even know that whether this guy changed next month and never do it again, it don't even matter, because now the world knows.
Yeah.
So that's my thought. Like, keep it to yourself and handle it yourself.
Yeah. Out so much when it comes to their personal life. It's amazing to me. Because my thing is, the only reason why a person would do so is to defame or to basically make another person look bad that they're dealing with. So I need somebody to be on my side about this situation, or I want you to be exposed amongst the whole world so this is the only way I can make the whole world see how wrong you are. You know what I'm saying? People tend to do these things, and it's amazing to me, because how can you say you love someone? How can you say, and then like it's like a social media rape? Like, you're putting your business out on the front street, and everybody gets to pick at this person and tear this person apart, and you're okay with it because you want people to agree with you.
So this has probably 50 sides to it, because I understand exactly what you're saying. Karonica, same thing. If you put it out there, ain't no taking none of it back. Now, in Neo's wife's defense, Crystal, I feel like with her, she was tired of all of the DMs from all the people sending her husband doing indecent stuff, because at the end she said, please stop, don't send me no more evidence. Please, I'm done. I got it. Thank you. No problem. Right. She, as a person who's married to a celebrity, you get a little bit of celebrity yourself. So now people seek you out. They find you. I'm sure that I wonder how all of the stuff started coming to her at one time. But she got inundated with a bunch of the same thing. Oh, here's your husband with this girl. Here's this, here's that. People blowing up his spot. So for her, she might have been putting one public notice for everybody to stop messing with her. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone because I'm tired. I got it. The message has been received, and that's it.
But yeah, I just think that for one, Neo, he got a history.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, if you know you low down, you know that you have a hard time with keeping it in your pants, why get married? Why destroy another human being's life? Because at the end of the day, and this is something that really frustrates me, because people talk about being grown. Mm-hmm. So if you're an adult, have an adult conversation. Hey, I'm really not a one-woman man, but I want to have kids with you. You gonna be my number one, my number two. And I know a lot of people don't like Nick Cannon, but Nick Cannon got 8 kids by all these other women. So in my mind, I got to think or believe that they're all aware of Nick's situations, mm-hmm. and they still continue to have the babies. So if that's not who you are, meaning being able to commit to one person, you took her through so much. And then, oh, well, I changed and I realized this and I realized that, and we made it through COVID. So I really love this woman. And you do the elaborate thing, and not even 6 months, you say? Mm-hmm. 6 or, and now y'all back at where you were before about getting a divorce. Again, just
selfish.
Be true to who you are. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I like to have several women.
What did Usher song say? I love, I'm just bad at it.
Right.
What you said.
Somebody's gonna want to be with you if you tell the truth. That's the thing about it is this is crazy. You don't have to lie.
Correct.
Nick Cannon is a great example.
Yeah.
But they all do know what they get into. You gotta be under a rock if you don't know that he is with all these women. He's choosing to have babies by all these women. Mm-hmm. So it's somebody out there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't have to lie. But what it is that these people, those type of people want a certain type of woman. And they don't want, so they know that if I tell her this, she would have never moved forward in a relationship with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to pretend that I'm this person, and I'm not this person.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got, I hate to say that because at one time in life I didn't think that. But sometimes, don't you wish you would have talked to people's ex? Like, if you could have, I mean, you don't say this out loud, but if you could have a conversation with a ex-wife or an ex-boy, a long-term relationship, and, just really get somebody else's point of view, it to be like, you'd be like, Dag, I didn't know that. Mm. Like, it's just, I don't know, because when you line up certain people's situation and they just choose to keep on doing certain things, they did it with the last person too.
Yes.
They talk a good game. They get you situated in the relationship and feeling comfortable. And then what they do is once they realize you comfortable, now I'm going to be my real self. Now I'm going to do what I want to do because you're comfortable now. You think you trust me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can be a manipulator. You can be all of these types of bad personalities. And a woman who is in love will ignore the red signs.
Yeah. I want to say something Shay had mentioned in her previous comment that sometimes people have negative intent and they put somebody out there for them to be exposed and picked apart. So every once in a while, though, social media does expose some true monsters and manipulators, like the Tinder swindler. A whole movie got made about somebody who took advantage of people, and if it wasn't for one girl blowing this spot up and the 50 other was coming after, like, oh, I was so embarrassed, I felt so stupid, I didn't say anything.
Right.
So sometimes social media has been a help to alert people that a monster is on the loose, and this guy. You know, I watched a YouTube video, just popped up the other day. This girl, she was like, I didn't want to do this, but she put up her video about this guy who she was in a relationship for 6 months. He brought several $1,000s from her and then just ghosted her. She put it up. She was embarrassed. She was mad, but she put up, she said, I just still feel like I'm not the only person. The comments under her video were so many. I'm talking about he was screenshotting his conversation with her and sending it to 20 other women. Oh, I need $1,000. It's urgent. My mom is in the hospital. So if she didn't make her talking about how embarrassed she was and how stupid she felt, all those other people, now there's a case, they're looking for this guy. This one guy who has done the same thing to 20 women. So sometimes social media can be a help. Most of the time, if you're in a relationship, you should keep all your stuff to yourself. But if it's a situation where something's eating at you or something's not right, putting information out there may be helpful to someone else.
Right. And just know when you put the information out, because there's a difference between and then, okay, before I go to that part, but sometimes people put that information out there also. I'm thinking of this because you know how some people's like, it's hard for me just to be done. I want to be done. Yeah. But you know, if I put that information, I ain't no way I can go back. Like,
I'm making the world their accountability partner.
This is the incentive that I'm out. Like, I'm done. I didn't put this out. It's a done deal. Once you hit send, it's like, oh, well, let me go file for divorce on Monday.
Because the world is your accountability partner now. You can't go back.
Yeah, exactly. Or you looking crazy.
Right. So I think, but then the other part, what you just said, the crazy part is once you put it out there, know that that's the expectation of the world is looking at you like, okay, well, she's done. So they coming for this person hard. So you can't come back 4 months, leave my husband alone. No. I don't know our situation. Because it's like, we do know what you sent out to us and said.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with that too. So let me remove this. Okay. Yeah. So, but you have to definitely be careful with that part of it too, because it's two parts to that. Like some people, I get that they're doing it like, if I could just build up the courage, what can I do to make me just be done?
Yeah.
And you like, because if she's never spoke about this before, and then she did just went straight hard like that, and it could have been a buildup of, like you said, the inbox of DMs sending her stuff. So at this point, she like, okay, really? Like, I'm done. So
and the response wasn't nasty.
I am.
It wasn't a nasty response either. It was like she hit all the talking points. Hey, here's what I know. Here's what I'm getting ready to do. Thank y'all for the information. I don't need any more information. I wish him the best. Bye. Like that was it. She didn't do the whole. She expressed how heartbroken she was, but she didn't do the whole, I'm a victim. And she actually said, I'm not a victim. Right. She just letting it be known on a mass scale, this public notice. I don't need don't send me any more DMs. I got it, y'all. I'm good.
Right, because she even went so far as to say the good thing about all of this is that 4 beautiful children came of this union. And I was like, oh, okay. So I know she's hurting, but let me just tell you the good part about what has happened. I'm done.
Yeah.
But thank you for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think she was disrespectful at all. I think that she sent out a well thought out message that basically was letting people know, like you said, thank you, but stop sending me stuff because I already know.
Yeah.
Tell me nothing I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I think just when you got people just just going off on each other back and forth on media and they just being extra and too much. You know what I'm saying? Then that's when it's a problem.
I have to unfollow those people for like 6 months. When I see that and it's nothing but drama, I'm like, let me unfollow because I can't see that every 5 minutes. The pictures of the kids outside the door with their luggage crying. It's like, no.
That it makes me think. Like I've seen a couple of people that I've met, and I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And my mind thought process, you wake up, you know how you can't sleep at night, and then you see messages going back and forth, and you be like, I would have never thought you was the type of person that to be putting your business out there. But you know what I always go to? I always go to the comments because I like to see what type of friends people have.
Yeah.
And I like to see if you're going to have people in the comments saying, girl, I know that's right. Because you got a lot of those people like, yeah, go, yeah, leave him, yeah. Or you have people like, friend, take this down. You're better.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, take it down. You're better than this. Don't do that. So I always go to the comments because I look at people when they first throw their business out and you're going back and forth with your husband or your boyfriend or even just a friend online. Like, why are y'all talking
Here.
each other through? You really are typing something back and forth and your husband's downstairs? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
so y'all are going back and forth to each other and like now you got all these outside people in your business. And where it could be a simple thing like,
That's crazy.
just put your phone down. When you find out something, put your phone down. Maybe if you're the person who have an urge to out it, and I get that urge, but just take a social media break because you may not feel that type of way 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks from now. Like let things settle in and get your thoughts. Don't be so quick to start typing stuff. You gotta be careful with that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing. First of all, I'm so grateful that me growing up doing any and everything that I might have done that I shouldn't have done, there's no record of it.
Yeah.
Because there's no, it wasn't social media. But I feel like when they were saying she's clout chasing, she's not. But this is how we interact now. It's no more, hey, can you come over? Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Or let's go to dinner. It's now everything is via social media. So you're living your life in social media world. And it's sad because like you said, if your husband is downstairs, but you texting this foolery on social media, that's our norm. That's our norm now. So do you guys feel like adults, let alone adults, we just don't know how to communicate anymore face to face? It's always even a text on the phone. Nobody wants to call and let's have the conversation. It's a text or let's put it on social media. So do you feel like we've forgotten the art of simply just sitting down and having a face to face?
I think our communication is broken.
I don't think people have forgotten. I just think it's easier to text and do things now because it's having tough conversations is hard. So I think social media has allowed for cop outs. But yeah, so we haven't forgotten how we just choosing not to.
Yeah, I feel like even with that, when I'm looking at like my son and everything, their communication skills are going to be better because
it's going to be better.
Yeah, because the reason why I say that now because everything is based on. Maybe because we were new to it and we kind of got pushed into it. But I think that like the way they teach stuff at school now is like everything, they get graded more on communication and especially in elementary than they do almost to me their work. Like it's always like communication, behavior, all that stuff like that. Like they really have to like express themselves. If you don't express yourself, something wrong. That's how they feel now. Like, and with us, we kind of got pushed into social media, so we kind of like going through it, figuring it out. You know what I mean? So I think that for us, it's a cop-out, like you said, because I really didn't want to have those tough conversations with you in the first place because I didn't know how to. I wasn't equipped to have them anyway. Because a lot of times, if you think about our generation, men and women, men, women, it's hard for them just to disagree without wanting to hurt each other.
Yes.
So it's like, now you can't have a conversation. You believe this? You're a different religion, and just be like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't see it like that. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I don't believe that. But still, and the conversation can still get rough. But at the end of the day, you walk around like, oh, okay, cool. I'll talk to you next time. Now people want to get physical just because we don't agree on the same thing. So text message is easy because no one wants to really communicate respectfully. We don't know how to
through stuff.
Yeah, we don't know how to understand that I think this way. Why can't we have those difficult conversations? So we choose to be with people who think like us, and we was taught to be with people who think like us, because then you don't have to have those real difficult conversations. And then everybody else just choose, but when you get the people who wasn't raised like you, didn't have the same religious background as you, the conversations like the same. Now y'all got to really talk and commune and really have those difficult conversations, and we're not taught that. So I think social media is easier for you to say, take your ball and run. When somebody don't say what you want, you can give them a quick shot real quick and then get off or block them. The block.
Yeah.
The block. Like, I don't like what you said. I don't like how you said it. I'm blocking you. So I think that is to me, that's the biggest problem with social media.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and not having a cell phone. I remember growing up and saying, man, I wish I had a beeper. Man, I wish, I remember in that era, I didn't have, the only way I could communicate with somebody is actually to physically communicate with them, or they have to get up on the phone and call me. That was the only way. So as time goes on and I see how people communicate, it bothers me, because I don't like when someone texts me a whole conversation that could have been held on the phone. Mm-hmm. Or we could have spoken about it later on in person. I don't care for that at all. So that whole texting, I don't like it. I never did. And so I don't know how people do it, because I know for me, I have moments where I'm texting or emailing someone, and I have to make sure that I'm saying it properly, because if I don't say it a certain way, it's going to sound like I'm being smart. Mm-hmm. or I'm trying to be funny about something, and I'm not. It's just I'm trying to relate what I'm trying to tell you without you can't hear my voice. You can't hear how I'm saying it. You can't understand what I'm actually saying to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With just the words. Right. So I don't understand. So I don't like it. So I literally, when I'm emailing somebody at work, I'm like, oh, how that sound? How would someone receive what I just sent to them? Because no, it ain't me. It's it's me, but it's not really me. Right.
So you're one of those people who, if you were having relationship problems, we would never see it on social media.
I don't think I've ever did anything weird like that on social media. The only thing I've ever did was probably posted a picture of something somebody gave me, or if that, I think I probably only did that once or twice.
But you wouldn't put your drama out there, me either.
No. For one, look, I don't know, maybe I'm just got pride or something like that. I don't want nobody knowing.
Yes. That Cletus, you don't want anybody to know that Cletus stole your car and took your bank account information?
Right.
Are you gave that person $5,000?
Right. I was loving how Shay was frozen, because her expression was priceless. She was like,
I don't know if you heard me, Shay, but I was saying you don't want anybody to know that Cletus stole your car.
I don't want nobody to know I know Cletus.
Right, in the first place. Yeah.
Yeah, because some guys you dated, you be like, oh, man. And then he did that?
Yeah.
Right.
That name doesn't, I don't recognize that name.
Yeah. It's like, no, it don't register. He could have stolen your whole bank account and everything. Like, no, I don't even know Cletus.
I have to take that.
Yeah.
I have to take that.
That is funny.
And be preaching somebody else, girl. Don't get him nothing.
Oh. God, who social media is their tool or their therapy, because I'm sure some people that may not have, some people don't even want to discuss the stuff with their close circle because of how biased they are, or the opinions they're going to start getting from people without even asking for opinions. So some people use social media or just their audience or their followers or their social media friends just as their therapy for encouragement, because if we know that this isn't this lady's first time around, she may not even want to talk to the same group of people that she talked to. So shout out to any woman who stands up, any person who stands up for themselves and puts it out there. I'm done dealing with something. It's unfortunate that you have to use social media for stuff like that, but if social media is what's trying to haunt you, that's where you got to put up your barrier. Right. Okay, y'all, I got it. So, yeah, this was great.
You have to respect the difference between the people who are like, we married to a neo or married to someone who is like, famous, is that, sometimes they have to make announcements because of the fact that, just us living our normal lives, we don't necessarily, not saying that people don't get DMs of certain situations, but it's not to where you can address the person who sent it to you, girl, thank you, whatever. But when you're dealing with the world and stuff like that, and the women that see you at the club, I saw them going to the hotel or wherever, or it was their friend, and they're sending you that information, and it's ridiculous. Sometimes when that is your life, social media, whether you signed up for it or not, you were married into it, you kind of sometimes it's like, okay, how can I address this at one shot?
Yep.
Because these people don't know me, I'm probably never going to see them, but I don't want to see this because I still got to go into my social media page. Right. Like, this is part of my business. Yeah. So in that, I try to be a little bit different understanding, because sometimes we look at stuff only through our eyes and our experience and how we walk every day. Right. But I'm not in front of the world where I have to address the world because my DMs are flooding up.
So the world is constantly addressing you, and you at the grocery store with your children in the stroller, and you like, okay.
Yeah. So we have to be careful not to necessarily judge them all the time. Some stuff is excessive, but to me, for a long time, I can't think of anybody that I've seen word it in that way and just do it like that. Like, look, let me tell you the details of what I know, so you don't have to say I missed out on anything. So I'm gonna say it in a nice way. Okay, he's did this, and for this long. I understand. Okay, so we ain't got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah,
she's talking harassment.
Yeah,
that's harassing. Yeah. Like, to have to constantly be bombarded with something that you already know anyways.
Yeah.
And like, you're going through this, but then you have to deal with the outside people who have nothing better else to do than to work what you're doing.
Right.
If I'm being honest, I don't know that I would have addressed it at all. When you guys found out on social media, divorce had, and I'm done with that joke, period. I don't think that I would have addressed it again because of the sequential order of how things happen, how they were during COVID, they were working on their marriage. We come out of COVID, and they were talking about, oh, we're so in love, this, that, and the other. And see, at what point do you be like, okay, we went through all of this, we got remarried, and now you still on the same BS that we were working through. And now I have to deal with it again? I don't think I would have.
I think she was doing that once and for all, because you know how you see people that are celebrities that keep going back into the situation no matter how dirty it is. I think she did like what Karonica was saying. Sometimes you got to throw it all the way out there, so it's like, I'm done. Because even if I was tempted in 3 weeks, I see 11,000 on all of this. Let me just back on up. Let me just back on up, because I was emotional when I put that up. But sometimes when you're in that highly emotional state, that is your true self trying to peek out. But then you get eroded by other stuff. Baby, let me just sit down and talk to you. Let's take the kids to lunch and let's sit down. And then you get worn down by stuff, and then you forget how fired up or how hurt you were. And then you're like, well, so she's preventing herself from doing the well.
Right. Because the word choice she used, like, several women on what she said unprotected, that basically letting you know it was prostitutes. To me, the word choice lets you remind me, like, if I ever forget, let me just make sure I remember it's all these deathly things in here. So I just want to make sure that I remember. And some people feel like, okay, if I put it out there, I ain't no way I'm going back. Like, some people said, like, if I ain't no way I'm going back.
But you got to also think about the reason why maybe she's responding to it is because by her being in a celebrity wedding type of relationship and they're announcing these things and they're making these comments about their family getting to a point because of what other people knew about what's going on with them. So now she's in this situation to where people saw her life, like level of like what was going on with her. And now they gotta say, okay, well, you said y'all was doing this and this and this, and he's doing this and this and that, and he's doing better. But no, I got something to show you. I got something to tell you. So now she has no choice but to go ahead and just put a stop to thing, because what can I say now? I didn't put my life out there already about my about my reuniting with my husband, all that. So what do I do?
And he was just on Breakfast Club talking. He was just on Breakfast Club talking about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So just talking about the vow renewal and how they got to the point of breaking up in the first place, how he had not been respecting her the way he should. So it's like, you know what? I know there's 20,000 stories out here. We was divorcing, we got remarried, blah, blah, blah. Let me just tell y'all what it is once and for all. Because you could hear that and you'd be like, oh no, they just renewed their vows. They're not breaking up. That's an old story. And it's like, no, this is a new story. It's back.
This is the final. That's the final part.
Yeah.
And I found out again.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but prayers, thoughts go out to any woman who's struggling, any man who is struggling through a situation that has forced them to have to, turn to social media just to shut all the noise out so they can get to their healing. So listening to anybody who's going through and trying to heal.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
And try not to put all your business on social media.
Yeah, try y'all.
Try hard.
Try hard.
Let's do
But
better.
in the meantime, drop your comments in here. Let us know what y'all think about the situation. Did we hit the points? Did we miss something, y'all? Whose side are you on? No, don't answer that. Don't answer that.
They gonna let us know.
They'll let us know. But comment, like, subscribe, y'all. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, and we will see you next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.